All right, Kevin, can you hear me?
I can. You see why after every live broadcast, I set my stream output to record? Because hitting one live button in the middle of what we do could be freaking horrible.
I swear to God. Listen, I was very fortunate this time. It was all in good fun, but you saw my reaction. I was like, oh shit, am I? Okay, we're just recording. But you saw I kind of put the microphone down. That was funny.
Yeah,
all
dude,
in good fun.
I mean, see, and celebrities have had this kind of stuff happen too. This is why people who do stuff live, got to really pay attention. And it's all gonna kind of go along with this broadcast, because once you're online, it's out there and you cannot take it back. You can't claim whatever you want. Cardi B thought she was sending her husband a boob picture, and that's how the whole world got to see what her nipples look like. Because she was on the wrong part of Instagram. So let's get into it, man. Where I'm gonna be going through my glasses collection and cleaning them up and shining them up. Get into this foolishness.
Hey, listen, man, my frame game has actually I actually got listen, my frame game, my fragrance game, it's not up to where you are, but it's getting close, and I'm gonna send you some pictures, and you'll see my fragrance game has definitely stepped up. My footwear game, still got to work on that. I got to get with my tailor. We've got some options going on here. So so give us, I guess, give everyone the Reader's Digest version on what has happened, whatever you can do, legally speaking. Obviously, if this really is an illegal thing, we don't want to.
Well, let's just put the rubber put the paint where it is.
Let's do it.
I have a concept called Eternal Sevens. And red pill. Wow. We all know what this whole thing is, when women hit the wall and all this other thing. In general, happy people, happy women move in a certain kind of way.
Right.
And unhappy women, especially women who are bordering on narcissists, there's a lot of stuff going on with undiagnosed mental illness, and online.
Very true.
You can start seeing it kind of play itself out. So what's at the base of all this is this woman actually ran afoul of you.
Yes.
Long before I even knew who she was. And I did a show back in the summertime, people.
Yep.
In the summertime, where she came onto the show and proceeded to try to talk about how she was high value and about the high value men that she knew. And if anybody watched my show, we had an interview segment, and honestly, she made herself look pretty poor. She didn't have a very good showing. That was not my fault.
Well, here's the thing, Kevin. I think what everyone needs to know is, in her little video with her little lawsuit against you, she says it's your objective is to humiliate these women. No, as a matter of fact, they actually do it to themselves. Anyone who's paying attention to your show knows that all you're doing is giving them enough rope to hang themselves with, right?
Let's talk about something. Number one, first of all, this is the United States of America. You can sue anyone for anything.
Ain't that right?
Okay, but if you've been in court, there is a big difference between what you can have the court of public opinion, but Absolutely. In a court, it's about the law.
That's right.
And this is where it becomes laughable, because you have someone going around to platform after platform after platform, getting into altercations and disagreements with content creators, and then wanting to cry foul when she makes herself look foolish. Again, this happened back in the summer. And why is all this coming up now? Anybody can speculate, but let's be reasonable. I mean, let's be real. It's because of a lot of times people sue because they want easy money.
Yep.
Not going to necessarily get it, because again, it's about the law. And There's some terms that I'm going to throw out that people need to be aware with.
Okay.
Expectation of privacy. There is no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy on a public platform.
Right. And lawyers have said this. I've heard attorneys say this because I have attorneys working for me.
Exactly. So there's a difference between a law and a policy in your feelings.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Here's what I say. This is kind of funny in the same thing, because when you made the video about her doxing herself, she says this is against the law, but then I'm going to go out and proceed to do this and show her. See, that's the thing. Why are you saying that your privacy was invaded when you're publicly? She's been on your show what, she's made 3 or 4 different response videos to you.
Dude.
Things like that.
Honestly, I stopped paying attention to her after the second video. I was like, dude, she's wasting my time.
But the funny thing is, it's all around this. It all stems back to this whole viral video on YouTube.
Yep, that's what it is.
Here's the problem. Many women see themselves as where their outcomes are going to be. That whole dying alone is really hitting women hard, because you can say 3 out of 4 of African-American women marry in their lifetime, but every woman that heard that thought they would be one of the 4. That's
right. One of the 3
instead of the other 3. So this person's running around, I'm this, I'm that, I'm high value, I got this and that, and it's like, well, why? If you got all this going on, what's the problem? And it's funny, but it's also kind of sad, because
it is.
It's like, lady, do you not realize you're making an utter idiot of yourself because no laws were broken?
Nope.
You're on YouTube. And then, so let's go over some things. Let's go over some basic, here's some basic bullet points. All right.
Okay.
So for the class at home,
listen up.
Look up case law on things like this, and you'll find that they don't make it through court.
And let me explain to them, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? I went to paralegal school, kinda, and you guys know that story. What case law is it's a law that was put on the books that wasn't passed by legislation. So in other words, what was it? Roe v. Wade. That's probably one of the biggest, that's one of the greatest examples of case law in the history of American, the American judicial system. Yeah, nobody officially passed the Noit Roba, Noit Roba law, but after Roe v. Wade, then guess what? That made Roit Nova legal. That's what that was. That's case law. Nobody passed it, but they found for the plaintiff in court. So that's case law.
So basically, can you imagine a world where, because you don't like how you came across on a TV broadcast or radio broadcast or something like that, you could sue for hurt feelings?
Right.
We would have no broadcasts.
Right. We'd all be broke, dude.
No. There would not be. Okay. How many people have gone onto a TV show or radio show and have not had the best showing?
Happens all the time.
So in other words, but see what people try to get, well, you have to sign a media release. That's for a different set of circumstances. Social media is not governed the same way as stuff by the Article 230.
Right.
If you don't know what that means, you will. Next thing, legal basis. You have to have a legal basis in order to well, you don't have to have a legal basis. You can sue for anything. But when you get in front of before you get in front of a judge, they're going to say, what's the legal basis you're going to sue on? What? Invasion of privacy? No, your privacy wasn't invaded.
Nope.
You use my image illegally. That's a policy.
Right.
It's not. That's not a law. What is the law that was broken? And
people break policies all the time. People don't go to jail for breaking policies. They go to jail for breaking.
Well, and the thing is, but here's where it gets tricky, because there can be a case made for modern law enforcement enforcing policies versus law. There's an entire sector on YouTube called First Amendment audits, where they go around, and go like filming where they'll go around and like film in a public federal space.
Yeah.
And watch federal employees lose their mind, call the police to try to get them trespassed. Like filming in a post office is legal.
Wow.
It's legal.
Okay.
It's even posted on the postmaster's rules on the wall. It's called Article 7. But yet, go to your local post office and pull out your camera and start filming. And I can almost guarantee 99 out of 100 of you that either the woman behind the counter or somebody will tell you that you need my permission to record me, and that's against the law. No, it's not against the law. Well, you see that says no cell phone, this and that. That's a policy.
Policy.
A policy means something that you as an employer or somebody that works there. We don't have to deal with policy. We deal with law.
That's right.
You go into the post office and film, and there's hundreds of videos of people calling the police, 911, because somebody pulled out their phone and started recording. Now, damn the 35 cameras that are around there. Forget everybody that's doing this. The thing is, this is freedom of speech. This is free speech, and it's freedom of the press. There is no expectation of privacy in public, especially in certain places. Now, if it's a personal business or something else like that, that's different. But in
or
public
say your house.
But that's your private space. If you want privacy, go home and close the blinds.
There it is.
All right. So legal basis. So no laws are broken on YouTube. You volunteer to be on any video platform or whatever. It's like going on to the Tonight Show.
Right.
And saying, but here's the other thing. This whole thing about videos and this and that, YouTube platforms, they can pull videos up, take them down. There are policies left and right, but no laws are broken. So here's the funny thing. Let's just say you end up in court. All right. Okay. You got to show a law that was broken.
Okay.
Then even if you can show a law that was broken, you got to prove damages.
There you go. That's right.
You got to prove damages. Oh, but let's get to the fun part. See, this is what people who watch Law and Order or Judge Judy and all these things tend to forget. They tend to forget this because they can hype each other up and tell each other stuff. If you've ever been to court, you understand that the people who tell the best story tend to lose in court because there's something called a countersuit.
That's right. That's right.
Frivolous lawsuit, malicious prosecution. Yep. When you can show a pattern of behavior that where you actually were damaged by this person pursuing something frivolous, you can get treble damages plus attorney's fees. Like running around people calling straight men gay.
Right. And by the way, for the class, when he says treble damages, this means 3 times the amount that you asked for. So when the USFL sued the NFL back in 1982, the USFL won, but they were only awarded $3 because they awarded the USFL $1, gave them $3, and then of course the USFL went bankrupt. So treble damages means 3 times.
Right. So even if you win what? What's the settlement? You win. You get awarded $10. But
all right,
then you can get countersued.
That's right.
See, this is where it starts to get trickery. You running around calling somebody gay, this or that, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's some things I'm not going to talk about, but this is where actual law gets broken.
There you go. And I would also tell you this. The woman we are speaking of, she has a video on her platform called A Warning to Donovan Sharpe. And what she did is she insinuated that I insinuated or said that she was an escort, that she was a professional. And so she thinks she can warn me about that when she did literally the same thing to you. So this is women expecting, listen, we get all the accountability, no responsibility. She expects us to be held accountable for an opinion, but then she wants to be able to call people whatever she wants. This is just how they are.
Right. So, and this is where you get into it because, a lot of, and this is something that I'm like, all right, let's take this to the hilt, because prior to 2012, calling somebody gay was considered defamatory speech punishable in court.
Right.
But after 2012, there was some reworking of laws across the country. But not to go too far, you cannot say one thing about somebody who's a business and attempt to slander or defame them. And the very thing you're talking about, bullying and this and that, you're
harassment.
Screenshots of comments and this and that, and see, all this really comes down to is people who are home. They're like, what's the point of all this? This is what happens when people tend to be narcissistic and they're looking for attention. There are no damages. Nope. There are no nothing. This person just wants attention for whatever reason.
Listen, if anything, Kevin, she's probably benefited from this, right? If it's attention she was looking for.
But see the thing, and why? But here's the thing: why did she come after you?
Dude, I have no idea.
I'll tell you why she came after you.
Please tell me, because this was the same thing as Lisa Faye. I didn't know who she was. She came after me.
It's like, narcissistic injury. Narcissists cannot stand to be. Narcissists survive by holding up a mirror, holding up an image to the world. And the one thing narcissists do not like is when their veil is pierced.
Yes.
And you basically called her something. She went through extraordinary lengths to prove to you that she was truly her image.
That's right.
And because you weren't buying it, that's rage. I mean, she has been on you since. And see, we see that a lot with a lot of modern women. Mm-hmm. You tell them the truth and it goes counter to the image. I mean, Jordan Peterson is on record for saying the United States is a narcissist breeding machine.
Oh, of course.
Now, just saying this is clinical is one thing, but think about it. If you're really so high this and that with all these other things, you should be living your life, enjoying it, instead of worrying about a guy in Philadelphia that you don't know, a guy in Atlanta that you don't know, and screaming online, I mean, and making lawsuits about what broken law and what compensation and what damage. This is, but this is what the narcissist believes. This grandiose, they really believe they're all of that, and they believe I have this connection and this and this and that, and these people are over, and they think that the world is going to just, oh well, go ahead. But see, the reality is in their personal life it doesn't work. So the video that she has such a problem with, and it's
good.
In the video she has such a problem with, that was the conversation we had. It's like, well, you are talking about I'm destroying women's hopes. All right.
Yeah.
If you're with a man, she said that she was with a man who's a CEO, who's this successful and that successful, but he doesn't want to have kids. And
I remember that. Oh my God, I remember that. That was,
and it turns out it's like, well, she's like, well, I think I can change his mind. I'm like, his wife that he married couldn't change his mind. But narcissistic people really believe,
like she truly believed that. You put it to a polygraph, she passes the test. Yes. Yeah.
They truly believe this. And the thing is, narcissists make a convincing case. It's like people over here, they'll see a woman, and because she'll say something, well, you know, he did this and he did that, because we're so used to women being able to cry foul.
Right.
All right, man. But in a court of law, they'd be like, what, man? What's the legal basis for this suit?
Right. Like, what's the substance here?
No, what's the legal basis? Not your opinion. What's the legal basis?
Oh, wow. They get shut down real quick. You want to know why they're used to not? The reason why they're always talking about the way they feel, because Kevin, that works in the court of public opinion. And women these days, particularly modern narcissistic women, they make the egregious mistake of believing that the court of public opinion is going to be the same thing as the court of law. And they always learn this the hard way.
Let me tell you something. If you've ever been in family court, go watch family court where a man actually shows up with an attorney and has a case, and watch a mother who thought she had a case. And go watch what happens when a man actually wins custody from a woman.
Wow.
And you will see what happens when the law is actually put in place. Because women are used to being able to say, women like this are used to being able to say, he hurt me, he did this, he did that. And people say,
okay, we believe you.
Oh, no problem. Because they're used to people just dying down. But most people don't realize that there has to be a legal basis.
Right.
And even if there's a legal basis, how are you damaged?
Right.
And what do you expect to get? And if the USFL got $3 from the NFL, what do you really think is going to accomplish? What it really is they want. And here's what brings us here is because for the first time in my lifetime, feminism, womanism, all these isms, women are being challenged. This stuff is being pushed back on, and they're not able to really deal with it.
No.
So it's like, well, I'll play as dirty as I can to try to just get this stuff to stop. But here's the thing, it's not going to stop.
We're not going anywhere, Kev.
It doesn't matter if us, me, you, It is not going to change the reality that if you're post-wall, you have a sexual marketplace value. Just because you want something, you can't necessarily get it, and there's no amount of crying foul that's going to do in it.
And again, let's just say for the sake of argument, this isn't going to happen. Let's just say she sues you and she wins $7.50. Guess what, Kevin? She's still post-wall. She's still low value. And if she wants to listen, in my opinion, getting ran through by CEOs, and she said I've access to high value men, and I've dated CEOs, like, you know, plural. I'm like, okay, if you're dating all these high value guys and you don't really have real hair, that tells me one thing: maybe money is changing hands. I don't know. I'm not there, but
I don't even need to go down that path. I go down this path. I don't even need to go down that path. What CEO wants to be dealing with a girlfriend who's suing somebody on YouTube?
That's a trick question, Kevin, because they don't.
I'm serious. I mean, thing is, if that's the problem, because it doesn't make any sense. You're trying to say you're up here, and we're just peasants down here, but you're spending all this time and energy instead of living your life and doing what you're supposed to do. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, think about it. How would this conversation go? Hey, how'd you do? Well, we had to deal with this merger and acquisition. We're talking about taking over this company. We're going to fly out of town to do that. What's going on in your day? Well, I'm suing this guy on YouTube because he said that I look like an escort. And this other guy, I'm going to sue him too on YouTube because he said something. He kind of lied to me and invaded my private. And it's like, what? Huh? That's who. Does that even make any sense to anybody?
Right.
That's like a busybody housewife who's just looking to be nosy.
That's all
That's that narcissistic stuff. And the sad part is, part of it's funny, but part of it's really sad too. And what's sad is what's really sad is so many other delusional females will sit back. She's got a case. You should sue. I'm like, now that's what's weird.
Yes, that's really weird. Well, again, it's anybody who says she has a case, obviously we're dealing with thirst. Let me read these super chats here. B-Boy number 1 says this show is going to be awesome. Dallas Cowboys, $5. I appreciate that. Rida, $5 says daily dose of mandem. I like that. Cryomancer with a $200 super chat says, what up, D? Long time no see. Dropping it off for TSR. Dude, you all of a sudden, you show up to my channel, and now, well, you know what? Listen, I regularly get 3-figure super chats, but man, I've never gotten one that early. That is the Kevin Samuels effect. Just to Ows, $10 says, thanks to both of you for what you do. Peel IT, $5 Australian says, I called into Kevin's show last week. He was super respectful, but maybe that's because I didn't get snippy. These girls are often very rude to Kevin. Let's talk about that for a second, Kevin, because a lot of times when these women call your show, they're hostile from the start. And the way you screen them now, nothing short of brilliance. The way you don't allow them to be heard unless you feel like they can be heard. Why is it that you think these women come at you like this? And why? Dude, listen, Kevin, you're 173-0, fam. Like, you're undefeated with these hoes, but they all think they're going to be the one to give you your first L. What's with that, man?
Well, the first part is why they call me and they're so hostile. Because I've asked the question, what kind of man do you want?
Right.
And then what kind of woman does the man that you want?
Oh,
like last night, I did that show on Do Single Mothers Deserve High Value Men? And if you watched it, you had women actually saying, I've got 2 kids, 3 kids, 43, overweight, this, that. They all believe it. And the thing is, prior to me being on YouTube, it was falling on deaf ears because guys could give their opinion, but a lot of guys were behind avatars, not out in public, not saying anything, or they didn't have any credibility of actually being out in corporate America, this and that.
Right. That matters, Kevin.
So me actually having lived this life and then saying, no, I'm in these spaces and I am still working with these kind of men, and this is not what they want. It's like cognitive, it's a disconnect, and they can't believe that they've been lied to. It was like Neo when he first got out of the Matrix. He just couldn't believe it.
Right.
They just couldn't wrap their mind around it. So the first thing you do is you want to attack it because it's like, they're rejecting the truth. This can't be real.
Like when he threw up.
Like when I was talking to a woman one day, and the reality is you're older, you earn $300,000 or more. And
Ooh.
even if you try to get your mind to be okay to accept every guy, by 6 months down the line, you would be mean to that guy because you've had a lifetime of being disrespectful to him.
Right.
So,
and Kevin, this is
they're not angry with me, they're angry with the reality.
So they're angry with themselves and
no,
obviously
not
angry
with
at the dating market.
They're angry with the reality. They're angry that they've been lied to their entire life.
Okay.
They're angry. Okay. I'm going to do a video next week on Susan Venker.
Okay.
And she has this woman by the name of Susan Crowder. I'll pull it up. But this woman wrote for Cosmopolitan magazine back in the 70s. And she openly admits she wrote a book called Subverted, how the women's movement lied to women.
There it is.
And this woman sat back and said, I was married for 40 years. The owner of Cosmopolitan was married for 50 years. But this was an actual orchestrated plan of selling products to modern American women.
That's all it was,
dude. You
don't
sell a piano to modern people. You sell a lifestyle, and you sell a music room, and you sell, if you want to live well, you need a music room. And then modern people will say music room need piano.
Yes.
How do you sell tampons, beauty products, condoms, birth control, girls trips, and all this other stuff to women? You sell a lifestyle. The Cosmopolitan magazine, according to the owner of the magazine, was the Playboy for women.
Unbelievable, man.
And what happened was she converted to Catholicism. She quit Cosmo in the 80s.
Okay.
And then she had a Nort Roba herself.
Okay.
And then in the 2000s, she converted to Catholicism. And then she started looking around and started realizing all these Sex in the City widows and saying, wait a minute, the stuff we told women, delay marriage, wait, all that stuff is not working. And women are, so she felt she needed to tell somebody about it, to tell her. And when I do this video, I'm gonna do it first. We should talk about it afterwards, though.
Okay.
It's crazy because we've been telling women this, that the feminism lied to you. They tied and they used all the language of the Southern strategy and marketing. This was an effort to keep women spending money. And one of the
it was all a money grab.
And the only way you can keep women doing that is to get them to delay marriage. And the only way you can get them to delay marriage is to do what? Make casual sex okay, i.e. birth control and Nort Roba.
Yep.
And making it okay. And then even if you do decide to become a baby mama, make that okay.
Right. Right.
So women are starting to realize after the beer bug, when the whole world shut down, that they looked to the left, looked to the right, and they had nobody. All these great and wonderful jobs and all this stuff was supposed to make them happy. They had nothing. And women collectively in the West had to say, oh my God, this is what it's going to look like at the end.
That's right.
That's when the red pill, RP, and guys like us start taking out, because we're actually telling them, all right, ladies,
we've been forecasting this forever, right?
And this is and the thing is, they're angry, but they're not angry at me. They're angry at the reality. Just like when I have women come to my channel say, at first I listened to you, I was angry, then I start listening to it.
You hear those stories, yeah.
But then I also have women, I posted on my YouTube and my Instagram, on my Facebook group, 8 couples got together and 3 on.
Wow.
That dude. There's an engagement the other day in Aruba. So they can't argue with the results. And that's another thing.
Of course not.
So what happens is, I also have a bunch of other female content creators who are or misandrists, and they're selling them a bunch of fantasies, a bunch of this, and then it's really just it's a women over age 35.
That's all it is. It's all the same age group.
Yeah, and they realize that their value is down. They can't turn back their hands, so they're upset. So of course they're going to come out at somebody, you, me, whoever.
Here's the deal. This is funny. What you just talked about, and it all marries up. Sex in the City was the lifestyle they sold, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the lifestyle. But what happens to women is they have that rude awakening. Ladies, I'm here to tell you, Carrie Bradshaw doesn't exist. Mr. Biggs does exist, but he doesn't marry Carrie freaking Bradshaw. He marries Carrie Bradshaw 20 years ago. Here's another thing. Here's another interesting twist. If you type in the word, I don't know if this is true anymore, but every once in a while, like when you misspell a word on your phone, it'll put the little squiggly liner there and let you know that it's misspelled or give you the correct spelling. For a while, misogynist used to be able to put that right in there. The word misandrist was like an unknown word. It would tell you, well, this must be, this is not a real word. This is a misspelled word. I thought that was interesting. Let me get to these super chats here. They are flying in. Let's see. We've got Lord Sinister 707. $20 says, this is just foolish. This woman is so weak that she has to attack someone over something that doesn't affect her. Because again, this is stemming from an opinion that another woman asked for. It does not matter if she didn't like it. And I think she's having she's having trouble dealing with that now. Red Pill Mike, $5, says she has a case and penicillin isn't strong enough. Dr. Thunder, Dr. Sean Wallace, $5 is paying my respects. You guys got to go over there and subscribe to his channel, Dr. Thunder. He's got good content over there. Colin, $5, says thank you guys for what you do and changing my life. Appreciate that. Mr. Alfred, $20. Illy Gilly, $2, says great interview, gentlemen. Enjoy. Black Lemur, 2009, with the $500 super chat. I think that's a TSR record. $500 says this is Bud. Love the team up. Appreciate that. Black Lemur, 2009. Black Lemur, send me an email, tsr@donovansharpe.com, tsr@donovansharpe.com. I'm going to give you the entire Womanese series. That is an $800 value. I'm going to give that to you. I appreciate your kindness and generosity. tsr@donovansharpe.com. Samples 33, $5 says Kevin obviously has an image of success, and she's found an SJW bus bench ad attorney who is enabling her by taking her on as a client. Probably. D-Love, $10 says support for the brothers from a brother. Appreciate that. Lakeith Evans says the disturbing thing is how they are so upset and hurt that they won't qualify for high-value men, but don't consider middle-income men's feelings pertaining to not being considered a suitable mate for them. I'm going to come back to that. Rainman690 says, screw those women. More importantly, Kevin, where did you get the spinning metal thing? I love it. Yeah, where did you get that? As he is now wearing his 9th pair of glasses on the show.
Secret Lab. I can't have everybody have my stuff, man.
Good stuff. I'm going to go back to Lakeith S. Evans' comment here. I was actually going to talk about this earlier. The woman that you were talking about who made $300,000 a year, it's not, I don't want to say it's not her fault because, hey, if you make $300,000 a year as a man or a woman, that's pretty impressive. But Kevin, women are not biologically, it is genetically, biologically impossible for a woman who makes $300,000 a year to be attracted to a man who makes $299,000. It's just not, I say this all the time. The more status, the more money, the more clout, the more worldly things women acquire, the further they shrink their pool of potential suitors. They don't realize this. They want to watch, I forget what these movies are called, probably a Tyler Perry movie, but I think it was Taraji P. Henson, and she played like some high-powered something.
Things.
What's that?
Rom-coms and all those things.
Yeah, right. Yeah, some high-value, some woman making, $300,000 a year, and she falls in love with a chef who's struggling to, no, that doesn't happen in the real world.
Let me say this, that I just pulled it up. Julia Allison.
Okay.
Dating columnist reveals how Sex in the City ruined her life, and it chronicled a woman who actually lived. The show wasn't based on her, but she lived a life like Carrie Bradshaw in Sex in the City, and she talked about how she did have her life mirrored this. I was in New York City during Sex in the City.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And women were thinking this is real. And this woman basically said, this has all been they have been selling women a fantasy and a lifestyle, but now the bill is due.
That's
they
right.
are over 35, 40 years old, and they cannot get back those prime years. So somebody like myself comes along and says, danger zone. And my show is put it in little capsules. I'm a PhD, buy a dog, and things that these women know. If you go to New York City, when I'm in New York City, this one has a dog, this woman has a dog, this, that. And they're all upset because they realize that the one thing they cannot do is get their time back.
Right.
And they're mad. See, Donovan, you can't understand unless you're really able to put yourself emotionally in somebody else's shoes. I'm an empath, so I can't.
Right. Right.
Like good actors and things can emote, but if you gotta imagine, brother, your life is not over. You can still have another lifetime.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm only
43. Right.
But they can't. They simply can't. All they can do is make more money, buy more stuff, but they cannot go back and be young and be a mother and be happy and have all that magic. And they're angry because they know somebody stole. Have you ever had anybody steal something from you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, have you ever had somebody steal something from you that you really value?
Yeah, actually I did. I had a guy stole like $300 from me. This is back when I was 21.
All right, brother. I'm gonna tell you, that's pittance to what I'm about to tell you.
Oh shit.
When I was a kid, somebody broke in our house. Have you ever had somebody break in your house?
I have not.
That is like grape. That's like
yeah, it's gotta be the worst, man.
That it's you come over and your door is open. They have violated you.
Yeah.
I need you to go back to when you were a kid and how broke you were. And when you could finally get up the money to buy Atari or something like that. And you got Pac-Man. Pac-Man was $50. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. Not everybody had video games. Remember, Donovan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Not everybody had ColecoVision. And ColecoVision was somebody broke in my house and they stole my ColecoVision and all my stuff. But here's the problem.
Oh, my God, dude.
Your door is open. And if you ever had anyone steal something from you, not money, I mean something.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Right.
Dude, I got on my bike and I went riding around the neighborhood after dark for weeks, like I was going to do something about it.
Right.
The thing is, I remember how angry I was over ColecoVision, and before that, I had someone steal a bike at a local convenience store, and as they were driving down the street, they're like, "Ha ha ha." And I was so angry with them. I found those guys 15 years later.
Oh shit!
Accidentally, but I ran up on them, and trust me, we straightened it out.
Okay.
That's a bike. That's a ColecoVision. These women's wombs have been stolen. Their ability to put themselves into another generation.
Yes, to live on.
Effectively dead, and they're mad because they have they've effectively given these women a death sentence.
I have never thought of it that way, Kevin. Like I understand the physiology.
Because we're so used to saying that they're bad, and because they've been doing bad, but understanding why somebody's really so angry.
Wow, man.
Because you and I can decide, I will make some more money. And even at 70 years old, we can decide to go get a younger woman and have some babies.
Right.
They can't.
Right. No, they can't. And this is why they're always in such denial when they call. Like, you're like, it's so funny. You lead them to their own conclusion. The truth is staring them right in the face. And when there's nothing else to say, they say, I rebuke. Because they just can't admit to themselves or anybody else that it really is over. And I guess, and it's funny because we all listen to, oh my God, I can't believe she doesn't understand. And why does she not admit it? This makes a pretty damn good case. They're like, especially childless women, your legacy's gone. You are gone. That's it. That's it. The genetic chain ended with you. That's a mind job, man. That's a mind job.
And that is why they're so angry, because we are telling them realities that the world isn't telling them. And see, the thing is, they can say you're just a man and you hate women and this and that. But when you start getting women start coming out and say, I'm sorry, we lied to you and we sold you a lifestyle because we needed to sell birth control and pantyhose,
magazines,
and magazines. Now, understand, the woman who owned Cosmo was married for 50 years and even talked about how she said, don't write about women in New York. That's why all the writers live. Make up women. She went on record saying, lie, make up women, make up a woman by the name of Erica and put her in Cleveland or Cincinnati or anywhere, just so it
anywhere
can
but New York.
Anywhere but New York, so people can feel like the woman is in her city. And then say, well, you know, when you're a busy woman, one man isn't due. So even making it all right to date married men because a woman needs a rotation. I knew women who dated married men off this theory because they read Cosmo. But here's the funny thing. when asked by the woman who used to write these articles and these lies, this propaganda, the woman who owned Cosmos said, if my husband cheated on me, I'd kill him. These women were married.
Right.
With selling, this was drugs and dope they sold women.
Yes, of course. And now the drugs have been taken away, and now they're I gotta have some, and then they call your show and they're like, listen, I got nothing for you.
Think about it, the modern dating economy is gone. David's bridal, all this stuff is gone. People don't go, we're old enough to remember when people on Friday and Saturday night, that's when you went out on a date. People don't do that anymore. Eventually you're gonna get Netflix and chill. So why is this relevant to this story right now? Because women in their late 20s to early 30s, 27 to 35, I call it the danger zone, because they are in the area to where if they don't secure a man and start reproducing and moving forward, they will cross pay age 36 to be in no man's land. And the chances of getting married after 30 or 40 fall off the cliff. In 1986, Newsweek had an article called The Marriage Crunch. And in 1986, it said that women over 40 have a better chance of being nerfed in a terrorist attack than getting married.
Wow.
And ain't much change, bro.
Nope, not really. Not really. The more things change, the more they stay the same, right?
So you got women telling them, hey, buy my course, this, that, self-love, and da-da-da-da. And then you got guys over here like us who didn't have the best language, calling them B's and H's and us, da-da-da. It was easy to paint guys over here as just misandrous women haters.
But guess what, Kevin? You want to know what happened, Kevin? You know what happened, Kevin? We got civilized. Okay?
Right.
Listen, man. Listen, I used to be one of those savages, right? I mean, people called me misogynist, but you remember what I used to be like episodes 1 through, I don't know, maybe 500. I was a bomb thrower. Kevin, things have changed, man. They didn't see you coming. They didn't see a clean brother in a suit. Wait a minute, this guy doesn't swear. He doesn't yell. He's not running around with his hair on fire like this other guy over here. That message is getting out. They're not ready for that, man. They didn't count on you.
So if the chances of finding Mr. Big or Mr. Right are slim to none for these women, what else? And you can't accept that you've been lied to. You don't want to take the accountability. What is it that some of these people do? They want to turn around and hurt a man.
Yep.
That's what it is. Well, I'm going to hurt you for telling me the truth. I'm going to hurt you I'm going to make you feel what I feel because I got to make somebody feel. But instead of doing what I say, get some therapy and deal with your issues, they want to. And this is why it's an irrational emotional response to something. It's like, what's the original injury? It's not like I know this woman. I don't make videos about this woman. And here's the funny thing. That she came up to my show in the summer after her running in with you. Then after me, I think she went to solo.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
she got passed around. That was funny.
But I don't know her. And then all of a sudden, she pops up
out of
nowhere with her hair on fire, throwing darts at me. And I'm like, what is your problem? I don't even know you. And that just shows you there's something. Even to her, people who may think she has a point, does this sound sane to you?
No.
I have a history of not beefing with anybody, not even people who openly attacked me. I've left them alone. This woman is not a content creator. She's a commenter in the comment section.
That's all she is, dude.
And it's like, well, a money grab? What do you think you're gonna get? Millions of dollars? I mean, what do you think you're gonna get?
This is my theory, and it's an opinion, but it's true. This woman is coming after you because she wants attention and she wants money. The whole average at best thing went viral. All of a sudden, now she pops up. Oh, I'm going to sue because he showed my face and this and that and the other. Look, man, that's what this is. And I mean, everyone knows what this is. Hell, even she, well, I don't know, she knows what it is, but it's so obvious what is happening. And she's not really doing, I mean, maybe she's doing this for money, maybe she's not. She knows she's not getting 1 red cent from you. She knows that. She's not crazy enough to believe that that money might actually change, well, legally change hands in that particular situation, right? So it only leads me to believe that this is purely an attention grab. That's really all this is.
Well, that's it. Because I mean, if you've ever gone through the legal process, it's not a fight. I mean, it takes a while. I'm like, if you want to invest those kind of dollars, knock yourself out. I mean,
Hey,
find
look,
somebody who can take it, can find it, go. But of course, it's about attention, because
yes,
attention is oxygen.
yes.
Attention matter. Women rank attention like men rank sex.
Dude, listen, women value attention and their children, probably 1 and 1A. You also made a very good point. It takes money to sue somebody. And I don't know her financial status, but I know this. She ain't got it, dude.
Well,
She ain't got it.
This, and again, if you've ever had to go to court for any legal matter, you'll tell you it's more than just a notion.
It is, yeah.
You want to go do that, you better have a good reason, because it's not the court of public opinion. And when it's all said and done, I think it just goes to show how angry so many modern women are that their life is, that they still look at themselves as young, hot, viable. I mean, I hear it on my show every night. And so many women still look at themselves as, when I told this woman the other day, "You're 36, ma'am." I was like, "Due respect, you're almost middle age." And she laughed, and I'm like, why are you laughing? I was like,
yeah, she's laughing at you because she thinks the joke is on you. Oh my God. Dude.
Well, she's laughing and I said, if you think about it, go back to your grandmother, your great grandmother's generation. Women who were 36, almost 40, they were women. They were mature. They moved in a different way because they had World War I, World War II, the Vietnam, Korea War. They had the Great, the Great Depression, the flu of 1912, polio.
Yes,
they had real problems.
Listen,
real problems. Today's women, there's more food. This is a time where the rich people are skinny and the poor people are fat. Right. My point is, these are first world problems, and the average adult is not nearly mature. We are really, as a country, we have gotten dumber.
Oh yeah.
Versus the people who put the man on the moon, whether you believe it or not, we're not maturing.
No.
And then you got women who are still saying, well, 40 is the new 20. No, 40 is 40.
Oh my God. Are they really saying that, Kevin?
Are you kidding me, bro?
Oh my God, dude. I've heard 30 is the new 20. I don't think I've heard 40 is the new 20 yet.
Bro, I mean, why else do you think so many women who think the wall isn't that big a deal? And they look at somebody like Janet Jackson, who had a baby late, or Brigitte Nielsen, and they don't see. There's another thing. The men, we're not really plugged into what women consume as far as content.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: we got to do better at that, because we are victims of what they do, because this is what they're listening to.
Yeah.
When they have co-opted an entire generation of Western women and destroyed them. I mean, this is why 51% of brothers are single and childless, and 64% are in the middle class. It's because there are no suitable, 9 out of 10 men say that there are no suitable marriageable women.
There you go. The math doesn't add up. That's why we're in this. That's why, I mean, dude, you put the numbers right there. That's why we are where we are. Holy moly.
So, and you said in her video, in another era, this woman was not an unattractive woman.
No.
And her accent, and 70 years ago, she'd be a happy wife somewhere. But today, she's just one of another eternal 7 out here, unmarried, childless, and angry. That's why I have that eternal 7. They stay on the market too long. They rank their value too high.
Eternal 7, I love it.
Eternal. That's why I don't allow people to use 7s in my ranking system.
Oh, but there is something that's why you do 7. That. Okay.
There's something called an eternal 7. Eternal 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s get snapped off the market early, before 25.
Right.
Okay. So if 8s, 9s, and 10s get taken off the market before 25, before 23, what becomes the new top? 7.
Jesus, yeah.
8s, 9s, and 10s are gone. So 7s couldn't get into the hottest clubs when she was 18 to 23, but she can get into the clubs that are 25 and over, because the 8s, 9s, and 10s are gone. So she's de facto the new 7. I did a video called Queens of Average. The 4s, 5s, and 6s look at the 7, the eternal 7, as their new queen, because they're like, well, I'm closer to her than I am to the 8, 9, or 10. And if she's got all these guys, in the adult club or whatever. She's got all this attention. And this is why they all stay on the market too soon, because they all kind of look at themselves as being in this ballpark. Now, most women don't look at themselves as Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Rihanna level, but they can see themselves closer to these sevens. And the problem is they stay out there too long. And the woman in question would not look at a guy who's a software engineer or somebody like that who's making 75, 80,000. No, that's too little.
He's invisible to her. He's invisible to her. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So she would rather be willing to deal with a guy who she knows does not want children, has been married and divorced, and proven to you that he's not making children with his wife, much less his girlfriend, but still thinks I can change his mind.
There you go. She preferred that over the guy who makes $75,000 a year.
And that's the video she's so angry about. But the video had been up. But the video had been up since the summertime. Why is it so hot now?
Well, because
I need something to fight.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't go viral like this average is best girl, so now I'm trying to go viral. Thanos 5 euros. Appreciate that. Sika in Yang says you should both do an episode on the leftover women of China and the Vice documentary on it. Dev, look that up. Oh, okay. Dev, look that up, please. Legend Skinner, $10, says even the creator of Sex and the City, Darren Star, stated that she regrets being overly dedicated to her career. A woman whose net worth is over $40 million and alone. Zero man around to court her. There you go. Andrew Carter, $10, says, love you both. Keep doing what you're doing. You both is my therapy. Thanos 300 with another €2 says D&K, you're my favorite. Go roast roast those womanists. The Black Blur, $2, says they think life is just like, quote, Pretty Woman. Rain Man 690. Listen, but the problem is you ain't Julia Roberts, bitch. Like, that's the problem. Rain Man, $5, says you were wrong, bro. That's a kappa for you. RQQ about the metal spinning thing. Love your content. Age of Machines, $5, says thanks for saying the many things many of us never had the words to say, only the nagging instincts / intuition that something was wrong. Segan Yang, another $5, says love the show, but even living single, I remember that. Sold the feminist BS. Regine was the only woman close to what a high-value man wanted. She was made to look foolish. I remember not Racine. Her name was Regine. What's her name? She used to play Trudy on The Facts of Life. Kim Fields.
I did a video on November 13th. Is there any hope left for leftover women? The cute 7 dilemma. And the leftover women thing. See, in China, they are when that woman went and sat in front of a marriage maker, and that matchmaker told her at 27, you're old for marriage. Dude. See, they will. That's why I said if people think I'm harsh, you better not go around Asians. Or if you ever had to deal with like models and model scouts, they'll tell you to drop to your underwear and we evaluate you
straight up
harshly.
Yes.
So this is where it comes down for a lot of these women. They realize what they are, and fighting with you, fighting with me makes them feel something.
Yeah, I guess.
They feel something. They feel alive. And that shows you that you cannot have what you say you have in your life, because those two things cannot occupy the same space.
Right. Like if you had a man and if you're high value, how do you have time to be doing videos about dudes like us? Like, I mean, something's not adding up. Am I wrong?
No, it's not wrong. But the thing is, it's like addicted to chaos. If you've ever known anybody who's truly has an addiction, they spend their entire time is spent trying to use or getting the money to buy the drug to use or getting access. It's the entire move.
They don't have their lifestyle.
Anything else. They don't have anything else to think about. It's just, and the moment of clarity is when somebody like that can finally get help. These women like her are addicted to this chaotic thing that's going on. And
after us, it's going to be somebody else.
So it's called narcissistic supply.
Woo. Wow.
So people who think I don't know what the French toast I'm talking about, I have had a lot of certifications, a lot of study in many different areas. Then think about narcissistic injury. You want hell? Injure a narcissist.
Oh my God.
You want hell? You dealing with a narcissist? If you ever get in a relationship with a narcissist and you know they're a narcissist, they tell you In order to leave them, you have to have an exit strategy. I'll tell you exactly. I've had an ex that was this way. And when you have to deal with these people,
this is why you talk about exit strategies.
Well, because you have to have an exit strategy, because a narcissist, when you remove their supply, it's like you're cutting off their oxygen. Have you ever been underwater and felt like you were drowning?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, several times. Yeah.
But but now there's a difference between being underwater, feel like you're drowning, but you knew you could stop it.
Oh, well then no. Like I knew that I could rise above and all that. Okay, right. So so you're talking about being underwater and thinking, wait a minute, I might not make it. Okay, yes. Gotcha.
Which is why the Coast Guard tells you when you're going, if a lifeguard, they tell you for lifeguard, sometimes when you're going to save somebody, you may have to punch them in the nose to save them, because a person that is drowning will panic and drag you under too.
Yes, right.
Even if you're a strong swimmer. So Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher in the Coast Guard.
Oh yeah, right.
You go save somebody, got to go down. And if you could only save so many people, you got to pick. But then you got to save this person. Sometimes you got to punch him in the nose.
Yeah, right.
Knock him out or shake him so you can drag him out. Well, see, when somebody feels like they're drowning, dying, and you're taking off their supply, they will do whatever to struggle to keep a hold of it.
Yeah. Wow, so, man. You're describing this woman to the letter. This is funny. A lot of guys, like Kevin, you and I, we talk, I don't know, every day. We talk sometimes twice a day. What we're doing now, this is exactly the way our conversations go when we talk on the phone, man. We got to start recording those things.
The thing is, many of these people want to try to make us mindless dolts. They really want to discredit what we're saying, not because they don't know it's not true. It's because it hurts.
Yes.
It really hurts these people.
Yeah.
And it's hard for, like I said, if you're not an emotive person or an empathetic person, or if it's hard for people to get outside of their space to really see how other people feel. Sure. Me, with all the training and stuff and sales and NLP and all this other kind of stuff, I can actually sit down like a Yoda and jump in your seat and feel what you feel. So it makes you a more effective presenter, but it also lets you understand where they're coming from. Right. That's why so people often wonder, like, well, how does he do this? How does he have this patience? Because I know a lot of these people are hurt.
Yeah, right.
They're hurt. Almighty, and I see the little girl that's crying in the corner, or the little boy that's crying in the corner. That's why sometimes, like, I was on Jessica X show the other day, and this woman came in and she was out there. Hostile. And people were like, thought I was gonna go in and just go haul Jurassic Park on her. And I'm like, there's no need to do that, because
what kind of training is required for that? Because I've got all the sales experience in the world, but I'm not, like, I can never, emote like that. At least I don't think I can.
Well,
that's the only way to explain your patience. You have incredible patience.
Martial arts is actually where it comes from more than anything else. Okay. I mean, you're having to stand in a horse stance for 5 minutes, meditate, because mastery of yourself, they can train you, to be a more effective listener, to be a more effective presenter. But, it also has a lot to do with your innate spirit. My spirit is much more a panther. You definitely have much more of a tiger spirit. Tigers only know one direction.
That's right. Right.
And if you look at even Kung Fu Panda, every animal moves a different way.
Sure.
Panthers cannot overpower their targets. So they have to hunt a different way. They can't overpower.
Yeah, they're not very big cats relative to lions and tigers. And
but see, a panther kills its prey, and then when it sees a tiger, it'll drag its food up in the tree, because the tigers can't necessarily get up there with the panther, so they eat in peace.
Okay.
And the tiger's looking at you like, I'll kick your ass, and the panther's like, all right, I'm gonna eat all this, and then I'm gonna kick you down this leg. I'm gonna throw this leg out that way. And so you're gonna have to make a decision. You're either gonna get mad that I ate in your face, or I'm gonna throw this leg out.
Or go eat.
I'm gonna throw this leg, and while you going over there, I'm gonna run this way. All right, get your tiger ass on. See you later. Peace, motherfucker. I've always been a panther spirit, man.
Sure.
And you have to go through a lot of shit too.
Sure.
And it's not for everybody. And see, that's another thing. Women like this can see that one conversation with them goes one way, and then with other women goes another way.
Yeah, very true.
It reinforces that something's wrong with them.
Right,
and
of course,
that's also bothersome. It's like, well, damn, how come everybody he talks to, the 3 people before them didn't go that way, but narcissistic people always think, well, the reason it didn't go that way with me is because I'm too intelligent, I'm too good. They're just dumb, they're weak.
And it takes you how long? 6 seconds? Okay, I'm dealing with a narcissist. Oh my God. Dude, that's why you own these chicks, man. This is funny. They don't have a chance, dude.
We're on this lawsuit stuff, and here's the funny. Let's get back to this thing. Let's understand YouTube as a platform could not exist if just because somebody did not like how they made themselves come off, they could just start suing people and shutting down content. That means you could have no broadcast, none. You know what it, you know what it would. I mean, no interactive broadcast, live streaming. That means anytime. That means if you're on the Philip DeFranco show, okay. 60 subscribers, and you have a poor showing on the Philip DeFranco show, you file a privacy complaint. That means Philip DeFranco has to pull the video down. That means you can sue Philip DeFranco.
Oh wow.
That means what kind of precedent would that set for any potential creator? That means you should not have any interaction with the audience at all. Period.
Oh wow.
And that's just not the way the platforms are. They want more interaction with the audience. Yeah. See, the problem is, just like Kevin Kelly had that restaurant where women were twerking on the furniture. Yeah. This is what you do. It's not, you don't stop having a restaurant. You just stop allowing people like that in. What a sane person would do would just be to leave you alone, me alone, not continue to come back, not show a passport, not follow me around the internet, not follow you around the internet, not follow you or me around YouTube and say kitten heels and da 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 da. This is mental.
Yeah, this is a mental thing, clearly. Oh, Dury Merritt, €5 says, I'm making 140 a year, but I am FU, 3 different scouts, 8 to 10 a week. I think women these days aren't worth my time. Does that make me a low value man? I don't know. I need a little bit more information. You're making $140,000 a year. That doesn't make you high value, but you're certainly on the right track. Lakeith Evans says, can we have Jessica X on, please? LOL, joke. It's y'all's show. Mexi Mike, $5, says, can't help but observe women as they awake to, quote, post-wall rage, similar to the awaking of men as we take the red pill, then red pill rage. Here's a major difference, Evan. At some point, men and women, we're going to get that wake-up call. And this is why I'm so glad I'm a man. Because when a man has a wake-up call, presumably after learning his lesson, chances are he still has his whole life ahead of him, at least more life than a woman. When a woman has that rude awakening, Kevin, just like you said, it's all over, man. So, yeah, we have the RP rage over here, but women, they can't afford to really acknowledge the truth because then they can't sleep at night unless they're all drugged up.
Let me go full classical education on your ass.
Okay, let's do it.
Charles Dickens, Great Expectations.
Yes.
Did you read that? A bunch of these women are Miss Havisham.
Woo! Wow!
That's what they are. They're Miss Havisham.
Oh my God!
The Eternal Seven is Miss Havisham.
Oh my God!
How did Miss Havisham go out, Donovan? In a blaze of glory. Miss Havisham sat there in her wedding robe, her wedding gown.
Oh my
God! For the rest of her French toast life.
Oh my God!
Because she could not get over the hurt. She lived in a freaking bubble.
Oh my God, dude. Yo, that's the bullseye. That's it. That's it. Modern women are Miss Havisham from Great Expectations.
I'm like, these women are Miss Havisham. That's why I'm like, I'm like, you think about it, it's like she couldn't get over it.
No.
But if you look in Les Miserables, he did steal. He had to go through, but he evolved. Even the police officer evolved.
That's
Women
right.
Didn't get stuck.
And he ended up changing his life. Right, Miss Havisham kept the wedding dress on because she couldn't get out of her own head.
Because the world will not allow us to not move because they won't take care of us. My uncle, his first wife, he's married to his current wife. They've been married my entire life, 51 years. His current wife. He was married to his first wife, and with his first son. They were divorced before I hit the planet.
Damn.
His ex-wife never forgave my uncle. She lived my entire life and died
years.
Unmarried, unattached, never had a man. 45 years. She was another Miss Havisham. I have seen women around me who die at 65. I mean, who die at 25, but they're not buried until 65 or 70.
Man, oh man.
These women Ben Franklin said some men die at 25, but they're not buried till 75. This is what I'm saying. Leftover women, corpses. These women are they are the literal walking
dead. Man, oh man. Jesus Christ. Tony, yeah, everybody's mind is blown. Listen, anyone who's read Great Expectations, man. Dude, I couldn't think of it. That was good. There's not a more apt comparison. Tony Coley, $10 says, Don Damage and the Godfather tag teaming on these delusional broads. By the way, I know where Kevin get one of these spring metal thingies. I'm not telling. Salute to the Godfather, the truth serum. Josh Jericho, as it skips me. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Josh Jericho, $20 says Kevin's style of the dissection of women is surgical. Death from 1,000 cuts. Black Sunday, $10 says that chick is like Scarlet Witch in Endgame, and Kevin is Thanos. I don't even know you. Nigatar, $10 says there is something about this truth coming from Kevin that makes women intrigued and threatened. The funny thing is, a single mom treats a man like a loser for dating her, so they know it's all true. Good point. Well, Chris Hollow, go ahead.
Coming from me, a lot of these women know that I speak, and whether they believe it or not, they know that I go in the places they go. I'm in Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue with I'm in New York.
It's not like you don't know
what they know.
Yeah, right.
So it's not just the money. I'm also in the lifestyles. I'm also in these places. So they know that I have the credibility to speak. And it's like, well, damn. He's not just got the money or he's just not got the pedigree or the
he's not this flamethrower.
He lives it.
Yes.
And it's real time. So whether they like it or not, it makes it more real.
God, no wonder, dude. No wonder they're hostile, man. Like, listen, I understand why they're hostile now. Not that that's the right thing to do, but I understand. Chris Hollow says, KS, your show has red-pilled the content creators and their audience that reside in the danger zone and beyond. 2021 is the year of the, quote, no man's land, red pill rage. Thus, therapy is necessary.
Hey, bro.
Elliot.
2021 is going to be a hell of a year.
It's going to be crazy. Dude, I can't wait, man. I'm already off to a smashing start. Elliot Roberts, $5 Canadian says The Godfather and the Red Pill King together again. What a great show. Appreciate that. Mexa Mike, $10 says proponents of Sheconomy, I like that, is Gen 2.0 of this cell. The Cosmo life and females like Sheryl Sandberg is pushing the idea that a young, positive stay-at-home wife with a bunch of children is now an insult. It ain't. Benny B, $20 is very informative and insightful. Thanks, guys. Snuggles, $6.68 says DS and KS, good morning. And how is everything going? Can anyone tell what are your philosophies when it comes to living? I mean, dude, DonovanSharpe.com, KevinSamuels.com. That's the only thing.
Right, come on.
Yeah, right, seriously. DMV boss is hilarious. They think Kevin is harsh. Come around me. I'm 32, handsome, 6'2", and very successful. Got women coming at me that have no business but get offended when I'm not interested. Keep it up, boys. Cameron Erland, $10 says, thank you, Godfather, and Big Bro Godfather for putting a foot in my arse and getting my stuff together. I came across the, quote, thing your father should have told you vid, and follow your word like gospel. Thank you. Albatross Flight, $5 says, Donovan, thank you so much for introducing me to Kevin Samuels. Kevin, I had you the very first time. This is how far. So we're sitting here on episode 701, me and you. The very first time we did a show together, it was episode 141, man. I mean, can you believe it's been that long, man?
Yeah, man.
141, man. 141.
You know, and what I'm doing next is I'm trying to speak to younger women under 25.
Yes.
And give them the information that this woman, former cosmopolitan writer, regrets lies she helped sell to women.
Right.
See, I've said this on my show to many women after I've talked them down off the ledge. And I'm like, why don't you ladies who are 35 plus, 40 years old, stop and go tell young women that you were wrong, that you were lied to? And the woman personally said, because the lady said, I'm mad that I didn't hear about you 15 years ago.
Right.
But they can't do it because if they tell younger women, what happens?
Now they really have the advantage.
Because they really have the advantage. So they're in sexual competition with these younger women. So dealing with that, those young women, because there are a lot of women who find these feminist platforms and they just get angry by it while in their prime years.
Yes.
But when we start breaking this stuff down, when as more of these women start making their deathbed confessions, because if you listen, I'm gonna send you this broadcast because I want to get to it first, but dude, you got to do it afterwards.
All right. Okay. You got it, man.
Talking about women who were married 40 years and 50 years. These women were of age in their 70s. They're telling the truth. They're saying we lied and we can't go to the grave with this sin on us. The problem is they don't have a big enough platform. And
wow. You got to send me that, dude.
Yeah, they're confessing. They are confessing. And here's the funny thing: if you watched, what was it? Oh, Made in America, not Made in America. Betty Friedan. Betty, what was that show? Anyway, I'm gonna tell you one piece.
Okay.
This got started by 57 people.
Oh my God. 57 people destroyed the world.
ERA, what was that lady's name? Betty. There was a woman, there was ERA, equal rights, and then the women's movement. Okay. One was traditional, one was feminist, modern leaning, supporting of Net Roba. But then later on, just like the Council of Nicaea, out of that, Jesus Christ became a divinity. He didn't have a father or mother. Out of that, the Bible became one book instead of all the other stuff, the Apocrypha. Well, had this. So there was an unholy alliance between traditional and the Gloria Steinem kind of thing over there. And it all came together on one thing called Net Roba, but they don't call it Net Roba. They call it reproductive rights.
That's right.
They call it reproductive rights. Who's against rights? It's called it hard work. Who's against hard work? And they tied all this together and they sold it to women. And they had a Hoffa-like cabal of 57 people who agreed to put this new language into new platform to make these suburban housewives with these Sex and the City feminists all on one page, and they packaged it and sold it to women.
They did it.
57 people. 57 people got us this shit right here.
Unbelievable, man. And here's the thing about Noit Roba. I'm not going to make this about that, but ending people before they're born, you can't tell me that that's the right thing to do, number one. Number two, when a woman goes and has Noit Roba, nothing happens. Yet, if somebody ends the life of a woman who is pregnant, they're charged with double homicide. So when a woman chooses to have a Noit Roba, that's legal, right? But if somebody else does it for, just putting that out there. So the infant doesn't count unless they say it counts. Just saying. Only One Carter, $5, says, I admire a woman that displays their femininity. We men thrive in our masculinity, but make no mistakes about it. I know parts of the sigma-minity. Yeah, Only One Carter, you got to learn to spell, dude, and learn the difference between there, and there. You're killing me. Lakeith Evans, another $5, says, well, Kevin, it does hurt them, but what really hurts them is not believing the fact that a black man has the audacity to tell them the truth. Kamal Dewan.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. Yeah, I think that's huge. Sensei Kevin Samuels says, I'm sorry, Kamal Dawn says, Sensei Kevin Samuels. Shima Holmes, $5, says, even if it's bad, we as women require male attention. 19-year-old viewer here. I've been watching Mr. Sharpe since I was 17. Thank you for the truth. Omar Hendricks. Oh, wait a minute. It skipped. Omar Hendricks, $5, says, you and Kevin are doing the Lord's work. I'm 24, and I see it all the time with women my age. Say again.
Phyllis Schlafly. Phyllis Schlafly
that's what you're talking about. Okay, gotcha.
Mrs. America. Okay. Yeah. Dude, there's a wealth of knowledge and the stuff behind the scenes, and I'll give up.
Send me the links, dude. Yeah, I like to learn about this stuff.
All this stuff left and right, dude. And this Miss America, and it's funny. I'll send you some of the links of some of these debates that these women had back in the day, and to think that it was almost like Malcolm X over here and a Southern conservative Klan member.
Yeah. Imagine, it was almost that kind of dichotomy, and they actually managed to marry this up, man. That's incredible. That's
reproductive rights.
57 people, man.
57 Mickey Fickies.
think I lost my place. Oh, Omar Hendricks, $5 says, oh, no, wait. Leon Everett says, shout out to the KSDS collaboration. Is 33 too old to begin martial arts training? No, you are never too old to start martial arts. Nope. The 87th Live says, good comment on Miss Havisham. Also, keep in mind that she, Havisham, also tried to convince Estella to follow her dark path towards revenge against all men when it was her fiance who left her. The cycle continues. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice, the 87th. Oh, that's very good. Very good. Yeah. Astute listeners. Dwayne Jackson says, thank you, Kevin and Donovan. When did truth and logic and facts become a crime and toxic? Well, when those 57 people won that battle. King Life, $5 says, Cass is the embodiment of the guys turning them down. They had a chance at 22 before the kid, but now he doesn't want them and have an explanation. Shima Holmes, $2, says, Miss America on Hulu is about the ERA. Okay. Yes, Red Bull Mike. Okay. Red Bull Mike with the $100 super chat says, when the negative truth that is given in the form of interactions with Kevin Samuels results in the highest level of male attention you have ever received, the desperation of filing a lawsuit seems to be your only way to maintain an interaction as long as possible. Comment of the night. That dude is a whiz, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Dude, it is about, it's like, well, some attention is better than no. Maybe I'll go viral and someone will pay attention. That's why I never mention their name. I don't mention these people's names. I'm like, I don't
even know what her name is.
If you want my attention, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. You have to be nice to me, or you're gonna have to pay me.
That's right.
I'm gonna give you free pub.
Straight up. Zeke Bell, $5 says, I had to pull over to say this to Kevin. You are strong in the force, my man. Appreciate that.
Right.
Aces in the Arts. Isn't Carl Weathers in that, by the way? Apollo Creed?
Yes. Yeah, I love that. And he's Have you not watched The Mandalorian? Oh, The Mandalorian is the schnit.
Oh, my God. I gotta check it out. Listen, I'm actually going to start having... I have not seen it. I've heard all about it. Baby Yoda.
Watch it.
God, listen, check this out. The only thing I have time for as far as TV is Devin and I watch Your Honor once a week.
You guys need to take a weekend in Vail, download it, and go off the grid. No Wi-Fi.
Vail, Colorado.
Up in the mountains somewhere and watch
no bars.
It's life, bro.
I've heard it's really good. Man.
New boom arm. All right, yay.
Who?
New boom arm. I always get new. New boom arm. Got to get new.
Wait, hold on, man. What you got over there? What's going on, bro? Listen, man. Kevin and I are
my other Shure microphone. So when I'm not talking this way, I'll have it that way.
See, I'm always. See, you guys are like, oh, Donovan, you changed the game with all your equipment. Okay, yeah, you guys can give me some of that credit. But real talk, like I'm always peeping Kevin something like, yo, Kev, like what you got for me, man? Like, what's the new stuff?
You gotta keep it moving.
Hey, man. That's the way it goes.
This is. I got about another 10 minutes. We got to wrap. I got to wrap. But this was good, man.
Yeah, this was very good.
I want to tell something to men. Okay. I said it when I was on, when I did my broadcast about what's going on. I know we have Me Too and such and so forth, but if you as a man were ever going to speak, you were ever going to stand, the time is now. Do not let people cower you for fear of things you don't know. I don't fear the courts because there's the court of public opinion, there's personal opinion, and there's the law.
That's right.
The law is on your side. If you don't break any laws, you don't have anything to worry about.
There you go.
And the thing is, most times this stuff, they just want to get some attention, maybe get a settlement. Keep on doing what you're doing. And here's the funny thing is, Donovan, you mentioned how long we've been doing this. Your fortunes, your business, everything is improved. There are always going to be distractors along the way.
Yeah.
But the speed bumps, you just keep it moving because they're not the point. They want to become the point. They want to become part of the story because they don't have what it takes to do this themselves.
I totally agree. And I'll say this to you. I'll say this too, Kevin. I think the reason why these two women have filed these lawsuits is to discourage anyone from jumping into what we do, right? Yep. And in their minds, they're probably thinking, hey, win, lose, or draw, lawsuit. Oh, I don't want a lawsuit. Let me explain something to you guys. Lisa Faye came after me. I took legal action against her, and no one has seen her since, okay? There was another content creator who is a BP content creator He talked a bunch of junk about me, my woman, harassed me. He no longer has a channel. So, guys, it can be done. And a lot of guys probably bristled when he says the law is on your side. Guys, this ain't family court, okay? The court of law, especially when it comes to content creation, they don't give a damn about, they don't give a damn whether you're a man or a woman.
Right.
What's that?
Media is big business. This ain't family court.
Right, exactly. Follow the money, man. And if you have a case, you're going to win. If you're not, they're going to look at you and be like you're wasting our time. Get the hell out of here. Kevin, listen, man, this was a great time. I'll probably do another half an hour because I've got kind of a big announcement to make with regards to my one-on-one with Donovan Sharpe. Listen, I'll probably talk to you either later tonight or tomorrow if you catch me while I'm awake. You're going to be on live tomorrow, correct?
Yes, I am. Okay. And I also want to say something that, man, look, I told guys, do not be, even in family court stuff, don't be afraid of the law, because when you're running a business, you got law. The law, it works for you too. Just like you said, women tend to especially when people do things emotionally, they think one way. Like I said on the Clubhouse broadcast, one-way aggression. They don't seem to realize that the law is more likely on this side.
Yes.
Not over there.
Right.
Commenter, business.
Yes,
and you will find out that when business people start actually filing lawsuits, and see, the thing is, unlike them, we don't talk about what we do.
Right.
They talk about what they do because they want it in the court of public opinion. When we do what we do, stuff just disappears. People just gone.
Thanos.
And then we may inform you about it afterwards.
There you go. Oh, no, listen, while we're doing it, listen, when I was doing what I was doing, I didn't say anything to anybody, and all of a sudden, bloop. And I'll tell you this, you also made a very good point. What this is, these are, and I put commenters, I put these, if you, and not to belittle anyone who's sort of an upstart. Listen, man, listen, we all had our first 100 subscribers, right? Like, we all haven't been but there's a difference between, listen, there are YouTubers and then there are content creators, okay? Right. You got a lot of commenters and YouTubers who think they're content creators. So they do and say things that they wouldn't otherwise do if they didn't think of themselves in that way. And when they get that rude awakening, when they run up on, see, this again, you're a business, Kevin. I am also a business. People have messed with my business, and they have gotten dealt with because I am a business. When, just like you said, when businesses like us start to bite back a little, okay, get up out of here. That's when commenters, I guess, who will maybe fall back. Okay, all right, maybe I shouldn't be irresponsible with what I say and do.
There we go. All right, brother. I'm going to be watching from the clouds.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Kevin Samuels, ladies and gentlemen.
Sharpe
Absolutely,
Studio.
man. Hopefully we'll have you on the the 7 here real soon. Kevin Samuels, not that you need me to tell you guys to go to his subscribe to his channel. He's got far more. Kevin, thanks for joining us, man. We'll talk soon.
I appreciate it. Good night.
All right, man. Kevin Samuels, gentlemen. And yeah, listen, dude. Kevin and I, dude, we've known each other for it's amazing. And I couldn't find the I found the thumbnail of episode 351. I think now this is the thumbnail. I think it was like his third or fourth appearance on my show. But I'll never forget, man. I think when I had him on my show for the very first time, I think we had about the same amount of subscribers. I think I probably had a few more than he did. I had 12,000. He had like 10 or 11, something like that. But just to see, it's really, really cool, man. Like, when you're in this business, you know, for as long as we have been, it's really cool to see each other grow. It's cool to grow with each other, man. And I might actually dig up some of those older episodes, and maybe post those to Patreon, because like I said, man, like, Kevin's ascent it's been nothing short of amazing. I mean, it's just like the way this guy has grown. It's incredible.